Hello everyone, this is JD and Patu and JD! Frick's sake! I'm used to recording. I was recording solo today by myself, so that's why I'm singing mine first.
Oh, the reason why he announced it first because he knows more about it than I do. I'm kind of just here like.
No, I did it because I was being selfish. You come first. Don't. I'll defend myself, Mr. Naruhodo.
I'm going back inside of my turtle shell.
Welcome back to the Great Story Adventures, where I scold Patu for being too nice to people.
Okay. It looks as though the police are still here, carrying on with their investigation.
Perfect. So let's find Inspector Gregson as quickly as possible.
Yes, and let's see if he'll take a break from his ships to look at the silver tip Iris gave us for him. Also, if he can make the train stop.
I sure wish.
If only. Inspector Gregson, do you have a moment?
I'm sorry to say I don't. I'm a very busy man. Standing here eating my food, of course. Very busy. Much too busy to talk to a pair of phone gadabouts, that's for sure. We have these for you. A present from Miss Iris Wilson. What? For me? From her ladyship?
Her ladyship?
Give that here at once! Come on! Hand it over! That's for me!
Don't wait for me to give it to you, will you? He looks like Luigi. Just a little bit.
Think so?
A little bit, because he doesn't have a neck. Oh, he doesn't have a chin.
He has both, Patu.
No, look at the shape of his head.
Are you seeing this little darker bulge?
Oh, it's barely there.
Oh, come on! He has a jawline!
No.
Are you blind? And Luigi has a jaw. What are you on about?
He's too long. He's only neck.
Guys, like and subscribe. If you do, Patu can finally get freaking glasses that he needs.
I don't need glasses. I just need everyone to know that Luigi has no neck. Oh, he has no chin.
That is factually incorrect, and I will see you in court. But for now...
Well, what was that coin exactly?
It's a silver crown, obviously, but it's a lot more than that. It's, well, it's an appearance fee, that's what it is. An appearance fee? Oh, I see. You mean... That's right. For the adventures of Herlock Sholmes. Her ladyship offers me a little financial reward for featuring me. Every time! Yes, of course. I know all about your exploits, Inspector. I read them avidly. Of course, her using my name without my say-so does make me the butt of a lot of unpleasant jokes, but still. I
am sorry, Inspector. That must be difficult for you.
Never you mind that. So, what do you want to know then, eh?
Sorry?
Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust it won't be a problem, it says. Well, obviously it's not a problem. Go on, fire away. What do you want to know?
He's a lot more accommodating.
Well, if you wouldn't mind, Inspector, we'd very much like to know the address of Mr. Natsume's lodgings. The little knife-wielding mustache Japanese fellow. He lives in a right old hovel. It's just over there, look.
What?
On the first floor of that house in the corner where that wreck of a bicycle's propped up.
Jeez Louise, what happened to that wheel?
Accident, I guess. That is nearby indeed. If I remember rightly, the landlord's a Mr. John Garridum. Right, well, if you see her again, you make sure you give her ladyship my regards, you hear? I mean it. You tell that Gregson sent his very best wishes.
Don't worry, Inspector, we will.
Goodbye for now, then. And long live her ladyship. Yes, sir. You got it. Well, at least you told us what you wanted to know before you left.
Yes. So then, should we go see what we can find in Mr. Natsume's lodgings?
I bet we're gonna find a detective in there. Definitely.
I swear, if he's latched onto the wall again.
Don't mind me, Miss Naruhodo. Just hanging out.
I see. Now, are there culprits in here? Or is it just,
Well, a copper does live in here.
Oh.
May I help you?
Yes. Would this be the residence of Mr. John Garridip?
Indeed it would, sir. And who may I say is calling?
My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Mr. Naruhodo is representing Mr. Sosuke Natsume. I believe he takes lodgings here.
Ooh.
We would very much like to ask him some questions about our client.
Are you?
One moment, please. I shall convey the message to Mr. Garridip.
Dude, what is up with your cheeks? Or jowls. Did you see that, Mr. Sato? That was a real-life English mate.
I know. As I understand it, anyone of standing in English society employs a number of household staff. But that was the first time I've ever seen one in the flesh. Oh, this day keeps getting better.
Certainly feels like we've really arrived now, doesn't it?
We need only to meet a butler, and the experience would be complete.
Well, I'm not sure if I go that far, but I understand the sentiment.
Thank you for waiting. Mr. John Garridip will see you now. This way.
Oh. You've got a pointy piece of hair, sir.
He's got a freaking moon for a head!
Yes, Moon. What are you doing out of the skies, sir?
Good day to you. John Garridip at your service. Pleased to meet you, sir. This is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. He's a defense lawyer. Do excuse me not getting up. Took a shot to the knee a few years back in the Battle of Maniwand, don't you know? Sorry, my wand. Earned a medal for my pains. Had to withdraw from service. Hand over the reins to the up-and-comings.
So he's a retired soldier.
It's a heck of a job getting up and down stairs now, I can tell you. Don't get out much, as you can imagine.
Yes, it's quite a climb up there to the second floor, isn't it? I was panting at the top of the stairs.
You really must take more exercise, Mr. I feel like that's directed at me. Goodness.
Bruh. You think so?
Well, Mr. Garridip, no doubt you were very courageous to earn yourself a medal. Oh, it was nothing. The medal's just a folderol, really. Wouldn't like to offend the general, though, so I grudgingly displayed on the wall. Yeah, I can tell it's off-centered. Everything is off-centered, actually.
You really don't.
Nothing is centered!
I mean, yeah.
Why don't you put it down, Joan? Let these good people see it properly. Joan, fetch the... Yeah! Dash it all, woman! Be careful! Oh, dear me. I do beg your pardon, sir. You darn nearly took the skin off my hands! I should be more careful, sir. So anyway, there you have it. Living the quiet life now.
Doesn't seem very quiet. You might want to get a new mate. Yes, I see.
Now then, I hear you want to know about the chap lodging downstairs. Is that right? Yes, we would be very grateful if you could answer some questions for us. Only do please, naturally. Especially if it helps to keep the peace here in Blighty. We forged an alliance with the Empire of Japan recently, as I'm sure you're aware. So this case is very much in the public eye, as it were.
Oh, is it?
Actually, this is kind of backwards of our first case, don't you think?
A little bit, yeah, because at first the English one was coming to our place, and then now we're coming over here.
Yep. And like both people, it's like, yeah, so an English woman committed the murder here, and a Japanese man, apparently, accordingly, committed murder here. Interesting.
Somebody wants something or other to happen.
Yeah, that's some famous detective poking around, you know? In this old house, would you believe? Yes, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Could have been. Didn't catch the chap's name. Not really my cup of tea, all that detective business. Oh, but you have a copy of Ron's magazine here, so... Yeah, no, Anyway, the chap's investigating the foreigner's room as we speak.
So he's in Sosuke-san's room.
It's a bawling nuisance is what it is. The whole neighborhood's twitching its curtains now. I don't like all this fuss. It's jolly upsetting. Unsettling. Goodness.
Hmm.
About Mr. Natsume then, Mr. Garridip. please do tell us. Excuse me. Ah yes, the Japanese chap. Only been lodging here for a week.
Oh, just 1 week. So he moved in very recently then.
I have 2 lodges most of the time. One on the ground floor and one just below us. The first floor room became available a week ago, you see. There'd been... That's it all, Joan! Do be careful! Oh, my goodness! I'm terribly sorry, sir.
What the heck is wrong with her?
If you want to know my opinion... I thought he was a shady sort from the moment I set eyes on him. That's awfully racist, Joan.
Yeah, I can't be racist, Joan.
You know, she can be, and she is, probably. Oh, why? She just shouldn't be. He seemed the most nervous disposition, always shaking and looking over his shoulder. Ah, not racism, just behavior is off.
He's just nervous.
The man had shade written across his sweat-soaked brow, if you ask me. I said to myself, Joan, that man is trouble. Sooner or later, he's going to do something untoward. And I'm really wrong about anything.
We won't be calling this maid as a witness, that's for sure.
Was there anything else that struck you as suspicious about the man at all? Yes. Oh yes, indeed there was.
And she's dying to tell us. Had you noticed anything else at all about your lodger, Mr. Natsume?
On my word, yes. The man was shadier than an orchard. Could you elaborate? Well, take the man's room. Absolutely stuffed full of books it is. More than anyone could ever read. And he never so much as passes the time of day with another living soul. I haven't seen a single visitor call. He just trots off to that old bookshop every single day and comes back at 5 to light the gas fire. And the funny little man is up long past the time everyone else in the house has gone to bed, too.
Oh, I see.
The gentleman on the ground floor goes to bed at around 9 each night. But I've never known that Japanese fellow to retire any earlier than 2 in the morning. He's just like us.
I mean, hey, you might be good with things. Come on.
That's true.
Ah. Seems normal.
Could you clarify something, I wonder? What, pray? How do you know so much about Mr. Natsume's routine? Oh!
Spy on him. Don't
I
you?
understood that neither the lodgers live on this floor of the house. Is that correct? That's right. Yes, they're both below us, on the first floor and street level. Then, how is it you know so much about the lives of your lodgers? The precise times they come back in the evening, for example. Even the times they go to bed.
That is true.
Ah! Good grief, Joan! Be more careful, woman! Oh my goodness, sir! I'm terribly sorry, sir!
Something doesn't add up here. You should fire Joan, by the way. Just saying. She's horrible. It seems that the incident took place at around 5 in the evening. Did you happen to look out the window at around that time?
The window? Yeah, that thing you have. Yes, we noticed that the window over there looks out over Briar Road. The incident took place on the pavement just on the far side of the street. Was there anyone suspicious loitering nearby? 5 o'clock is dinner time in the Garrett household, so I'm afraid I don't remember seeing anything. How about you, Joan? No, sir. It would have been dusk outside already at that hour. And with the fog as well, I should think it would have been quite impossible to see the other side of the road.
Oh, I see.
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary then? Such as? Anything at all, even if it seems unrelated. Well...
Yes? Was there something then?
Well, it's nothing particularly significant. Around the sort of time here, Ah! For the love of God, Joan! Watch what you're doing! Oh, dearie me, what have I done? I'm awfully sorry, sir. Do be more careful, woman! Of course, sir.
What? I don't like Joan, jeez.
If I may, Mr. Narrow Hollow.
Oh, yes.
I have an exceedingly good memory, and as far... Yeah, so good.
No,
Nothing
you
of
don't.
any significance took place here at that hour. Nothing at all.
It's almost as if... Oh, really? Mr. Garrett? The way you were talking before, it sounded rather like there might have been.
Oh, well, as I was saying, it was just a trifling matter, really. Nothing of... Ah! Joan, dash it all! What is the matter with you, woman? Begging your pardon, sir. Nothing happened. Yes, quite. Nothing happened. We sat down to a quiet, uneventful meal. Joan? That's right, Mr. Garrett.
What is the matter with these two? I don't like either of them now.
It sounds like something happened here in this room on the evening of the incident. But what?
I wish I knew. Could you tell us which room Mr. Natsume's room is on? Which floor is
I'm sorry, did you just say which room his room is on?
Yeah, which room is the room on?
Quite. Why, certainly. This blow was on the first floor. And Mr. Soames investigating there, even as we speak? Yes, told me Nat's his name, has asked him to look into the matter, so I gave him the key. Mr. Natsume has engaged Mr. Soames' services?
That's a blatant lie. Would it be alright if we also had a look around? In Mr. Natsume's room, I mean.
Don't see why not. It's just down 5 stairs.
Who knows if we'll find anything that could help us with the case. We have to try.
Wait, that's all...
Oh, we need all the clues we can lay our hands on, shall we?
Yes, and while we're there, we can speak with Mr. Soames again. Perhaps he'll be able to tell us more.
I just don't like Joan at all. Like, I'm sorry if that sounds rude, but
I don't think it's rude at all, considering she seems to be hiding something.
she is insufferable. What? Look at this place. And smell it. It's so musty in here. I suppose it's the mountain of old books that are responsible for that. Cat. Hey, kitty.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen so many books in all my life.
No, me neither.
It's so... cheese-ums and crackers!
I wish they'd stop moving when...
Well, it's not that. It's, I'm just not
talking.
looking at the names. So the thing is, I'm so used to playing these by myself, and also, like, I was playing this with a friend a long time ago, and I was voicing absolutely every character. So I'm just used to autopiloting, which that's entirely my fault.
I mean, I autopilot too sometimes. I usually just let my mind just... Alright, you go ahead. I'm just gonna be here in the back. It's so dark in here, too.
Huh. Is
that
that the window over there? It sure is!
Oh, well, it was the window, I think. Yes, once upon a time. For some reason, it's been closed up with bricks and mortar. Is that recent, or was it, So this is where Mr. Natsume lives.
Who knows? By the way, I haven't spotted Mr. Soames anywhere, have you?
No, that's true, but according to what Mr. Garrett told us, the great detective should be around here somewhere investigating.
Have you tried looking in that bag or underneath the cat? Or... Alright, let's see.
Well, we got books.
Alright, let's look at the desk.
We got a bag.
That desk seems to be wedged into a crevice between the mountains of books on the other side.
I suppose Mr. Natsume would sit there and read while stroking his cat. But surrounded on all sides by towering old tomes, surely he dreamt of books every night as well.
Yes, he must have done, mustn't he? Oh, what's this? It's a receipt from a second-hand bookshop. Your books.
My books?
No.
Oh.
Your, as in Tales of Yore.
Oh, that your. Oh yes, Mr. Natsume's name is on it. Look, and the date of purchase. 2 days ago, at 4:45 p.m. That's the day of the incident.
That's just a short while before he was embroiled in the terrible attack. He must have been on his way back from buying some old books. Alright.
That'd be important, especially with the dates and stuff.
So now... yeah, it is.
Oh, there he is. He says over there on the book. What? So, have you been reading all these?
Ah! Look, Mr. Naruhodo.
Haha, there he is. Where did he appear from?
He seems to be engrossed in the pages of an old book. I hope you won't mind if we disturb him. Hello, Mr. Sholmes! Ah, you two. Good day. Now, let me see. Where was it that we met? Oh, Mr. Sholmes, we were together in SS Budia. Yes, of course, the Budia. And let me see. What happened on that voyage?
It was Kazuma. He died, tragically. But you were a great help to us.
Eventually. Ah, yes, but of course. The case of Mr. Asuki. It was the one with the snake, wasn't it? Oh.
Well, you seem to remember something of it, at least.
What an honor to be remembered vaguely by the great Herlock Sholmes. This is Mr... Oh, no, my dear madam. Hold your tongue. I pride myself in my superior powers of recollection. Your names are safe to record in my brain attic. Miss Naruhodo. And Mr. Susato.
Try the other way around, Mr. Sholmes.
I lose the first round.
He's just happy-go-lucky.
In truth, I had hoped to invite you both to my Baker Street suite the day we arrived in London. But some Scotland Yarders ambushed me at the railway station and whisked me away to a crime scene. It was an entirely trivial case, of course. I solved the matter in no more than 30 minutes.
So they apprehended Sosuke's son in that short amount of time?
I'm afraid the pursuance of a new case has dulled my recollection of my past involvements a little.
A little?
It is a mistake to think that one's brain attic has elastic walls and can distend to any extent. I do my best to forget useless facts, lest they should elbow out the useful ones. Yes, those are my own words of inimitable wisdom, you know. From an adventure entitled A Study in Scarlet.
Please, there's no need to quote yourself.
I don't always remember my pearls of wisdom, but fortunately, my associate pens them beautifully.
He must be an iris, I suppose.
Mr. Sholmes, we have something extremely important questions to ask you about the trivial case you just mentioned. Goodness, what an earnest expression. My dear madam, I should be only too pleased, and this murky room is an apt place to discuss this murky case.
It is quite murky.
Quite. Alright, looks like we need to just converse with him. Okay.
We know this to be the lodgings of a Japanese foreign student by the name of Sosuke Natsume. It seems that you assisted in its arrest, Mr. Sholmes, for the stabbing of a young woman outside here on Briar Road.
Natsume. Yes, I believe it was a name rather along those lines. But Mr. Natsume denies it. Was it really justifiable to arrest him on so little? I'm sorry, Miss Susato, but I have not the slightest idea what you mean. What?
I can't believe he was looking Susato's son squarely in the eye while feigning ignorance.
I assure you, I'm not merely feigning ignorance. It would appear as if the pair of you are under some misapprehension.
Oh, how?
I assure you I have no recollection of accusing your astute compatriot of a crime.
That doesn't make sense.
The good detective of Scotland Yard made the following request of me, and I quote verbatim. We need you to ascertain the identity and whereabouts of a man seen fleeing the crime scene.
Ah, a man seen fleeing.
There were a number of books scattered on the pavement of the scene. From the book plates, I was quickly able to determine the bookshop from which they had been purchased. On speaking with the proprietor, I was immediately led to this address. Elementary, wouldn't you say? I believe there's a receipt around here somewhere for the establishment in question.
So you don't think Mr. Natsume is the culprit, then?
I didn't say that. That I cannot tell you. But it was aggravating my faculties, hence why I returned here. However, this place is such a trove of fascinating books, I found myself quite lost in bibliography. Do not be deceived into believing that I am a man of leisure. No, no, no. Oh dear. Tell me, have you encountered the landlord of these lodgings?
Yes, Mr. Garridip, a retired military man.
It was the first time I ever met a soldier from the Great British Institution as a services.
And it was the first time I've ever met a mate from the Great British Institution that is service. I didn't think it was that funny.
I do apologize. As you may well be aware, many households in London employ a maid. Yes, I read as much in my Great Britain primer. And so, conversely, whether or not a household employs a maid has come to betoken the... Wow, I'm just reading words without thinking. Has come to betoken the social standing of those dwelling therein.
Betoken their social standing? Sorry?
I know, right? What does that even mean?
It's weird.
Put simply, my dear fellow, those who employ at least a single maid are considered middle class. Those who do not are beneath that. In the upper echelons of society, of course, households employ enough staff to constitute a large family. Goodness, how extraordinary. As you can appreciate, for those on the precarious boundary between the middle and lower classes, being able to afford just one maid is of the first importance.
I had no idea.
And it is precisely for that reason that I find great stimulation in the situation upstairs. Specifically in the retired army veteran, Mr. John Garridip.
Oh?
Yes, as far as he is, the fellow is hiding something. Whether or not to impose on the circumstances of this case, I am as yet unable to ascertain.
I'm thoroughly lost on what he means to say. I think I get it. He's hiding something, Mr. Garridip.
This room is thoroughly suffocating for the soul, my dear fellow. I assure you, any man whose lot is to dwell in a place such as this will stab somebody sooner or later. Jeez, dude! Mr. Natsume has stabbed no one! Ah, but sooner or later, as I said. I don't believe that's the issue here.
About this dark little room, Mr. Sholmes. Why is there no longer a window? Do you have any idea?
No window?
Well, I mean, I can clearly see that there is a window, of sorts. But it's been completely blocked with bricks.
Ah, I see. The answer to that question is quite simple. Window tax.
Window tax? What is that?
Surely, not a tax on windows. Precisely that. Oh my goodness.
That's highway robbery.
It sure is. Until relatively recently, a tax was levied on households in this country by the number of their windows. Those of lesser means, having inherited a sizable and costly family home perhaps, rapidly closed windows up. While the rich opened windows here, there, and everywhere. In an effort to curry favor, not flavor, with those in power by furnishing them with large sums of tax money. How awful and unjust! Forced me to live in rooms devoid of light. Indeed, disease was rife as a result. So some 40 years ago, or thereabouts, the window tax was abolished. But its legacy remains, as you can see. It's squalid lodgings such as these, for example.
Oh, I suppose Mr. Natsue's stipend for living here in London wasn't very generous, perhaps.
It would appear so. I've done a little digging, and discovered that these lodgings were offered at an extraordinarily low price. Because the room is so awful, I should think.
Apparently, Mr. Natsume only moved in here about 1 week ago.
Yes, that's correct. However, I don't believe the low rent is explained by the shabby nature of the accommodation.
No?
Still, that is of little relevance here. A matter not worthy of further attention.
Are you sure? I'm curious now. Yeah, I kinda am too. What does that mean?
Pay it no mind. Well, I believe I told you all I can now.
Thank you, Mr. Sholmes.
Ah, yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Was it not your intention to become a practitioner of law?
You remember that, did you?
Will you perhaps be offering your services in this very matter, I wonder? To the occupant of this room, Mr. Natsume, was it?
I'm not sure.
Not sure. On what grounds?
Well, I actually defended someone in court here only yesterday.
Really? Well then, I congratulate you, sir, on an ambition realized, and so promptly, too.
The thing is, it's really made me question things. Am I right to believe in my clients? To trust in their innocence?
Yes. Trust.
Mr. Sholmes. Mr. Natsume didn't do it, did he?
My dear fellow, I haven't the first idea.
No, but I thought that's why you were here. Did you come back to investigate?
Ah, yes, that was indeed my initial intention. But there are simply too many fascinating books here. I couldn't possibly ignore them.
Oh, I see.
Nevertheless, there are two facts that I can state quite unequivocally. The man who fled the scene of the crime 2 days ago was a Japanese occupant of this room. And there are witnesses who swear to having seen the same man commit the crime. That is all I can say. And one more thing. Oh, what is it, Mr. Sholmes? Tell us. I cannot say with any certainty whether or not it is of relevance to the case, but I am quite sure that the retired army man who owns this property is hiding something.
Secretive is? Mr. Sholmes said so much before, actually, didn't he?
Anyway, at present, that is really all that plays on my mind in relation to the case. Mr. Naruhodo, as yet our investigation has uncovered nothing that could help establish Mr. Natsume's innocence.
No, you're right. Perhaps it's time we probed a little deeper into Mr. Garrett's secret.
Just remember, I cannot be sure whether the landlord's secret proved to be of relevance or not. But I wish you every success, of course, Mr. Naruhodo.
This is friend. A busy man indeed. He's gone back to his books in the corner into the room.
Yep, there he is.
Yep,
just
there he
chilling.
is.
Let's...
No, I mean, I guess he'll have fun there, I suppose.
Yep. Back to probe the Gyarados.
So, listen. If only we could accent without that mate being there. Can I throw her out the window?
Ah! You pair again? Tell me, what was the detective chap? I forget his name. Still hard work. Oh, I'm sure you forgot his name. Totally. It's not like he's the most, famous detective ever in the history of ever here.
Nah. Old folks don't pay attention to that.
Mr. Herlock Sholmes? Ah, yes. Rings a vague bell. All that detective business isn't really my thing, I'm afraid.
Well, Mr. Sholmes is in his element down there.
Jolly good show. Another cup of tea, if you please, Shone. And this time in the cup and not overflowing. Now then, why don't you tell me what— Yeah! For the umpteenth time, woman! Will you watch what you're bollywell doing? I shall be serving dinner shortly, sir. Ah, yes, of course. Frightfully rude of me, but I'm afraid I shall have to ask you to take your leave, if you'd be so kind. Oh, how convenient. Oh, yes, of course. We are deeply grateful for all your assistance. Not at all, not at all. Don't get much chance to talk with young foreigners like yourselves. It's been a pleasure. Best of luck and all that. Perhaps you could see yourselves out.
According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Garrett is hiding something. And since no other avenues of investigation seem open to us at the moment, perhaps we should do some digging.
Do you see something in the corner?
Yeah.
Look who just popped up!
I say, how come there's products in the window?
Don't mind me standing on the windowsill.
Are you
Isometric
doing
exercise.
How did you get up here? No,
I walked, how else?
what's he doing over there? I didn't even see you.
Mr. Sholmes? Aha! We meet again, my dear fellows. Good gracious, when did you sneak in here? Herlock Sholmes, sir. At your service. Whatever were you doing above the window? I am given to watching evening skies as the sun sets, madam. Yet sadly, Cheerful's room downstairs undoubtedly is, it lacks an aperture for such observation. So I took the liberty of borrowing a small corner of space by the window up here. Well...
Keeping an eye to one's windows at dusk is the prudent thing to do in London, I'm gathering.
Ah, and one other thing, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, me?
I thought perhaps you might be in need of a certain great detective's great mind. Oh, you brought Iris? Are you kidding me?
Wait. He's not talking about... Is he? I didn't expect to be going through that again so soon.
Do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? There is a mighty secret in this modest room. My eyes see even the most trivial of trifles. I'm sure. I take it you're prepared, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, but I see you have no handcuffs for me to do. How fortunate.
Oh, thank goodness. I think so.
There was just time enough for one of my greatly admired great deductions. Let's conclude the matter before dark.
I guess here we go.
Mr. Garradip, though it would seem
Yes?
you're a military man of considerably distinguished service, your standing as a landlord is most certainly not what one might call first-rate. I'm afraid, sir, that it is all too clear to me. There are two conclusions I've been able to draw by careful observation of your living arrangements. I beg your pardon? The first is that even as we speak, you are concealing the presence of a ferocious beast in your care. Yeah?
You mean Joan?
You know it. And the
I knew
second is that as a result of the beast's violent rampage, you have lost something very dear to you. Like the skin on my legs? Yes, that. God.
Dang. It's all melted on the floor.
Mr. Naruhodo, look!
I see it. The old man's broke out in a cold sweat. Unbelievably, seems Mr. Sholmes' conclusions are both spot on.
How? How could you possibly... How could I possibly know? You mean to inquire? The answer couldn't be simpler, sir. For in the dense jungle of logic and reasoning, I am the king of beasts. Ah! And I know only too well that wild beasts are not easily tamed. So, shall we begin? Once again, Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. The Great Deduction! The game is afoot. Well, let's see just how on the nose he is then.
Well, here
It
goes.
certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see that a fearsome beast has been on the rampage of late within these four walls. Jeez, I didn't even...
Wow, okay.
Thus we are faced with the question, what form might this beast take?
Oh, he's looking at something.
Ah, from out of the military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Your furtive glance, Mr. Garradip, leads us directly to the answer. The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by that lion statue.
I think you're a little off, sir.
No, that couldn't be. Yes, though an army man, you appear unimposing at best. A fact that has fueled your admiration for the mighty lion, the king of the beasts. What is this piffle, I ask you? In the end, your admiration became so great, in fact, that you had a living, breathing specimen shipped from India, which you try to keep in this very house. What?
What?
Yet living with such a wild beast proved more difficult than you'd imagined.
Also, what happened to his face?
What about it? The chilling traces of wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Well... Yet as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to? Madam?
Oh, she knows.
Me? I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it is plain to me with one glance in your direction. It is? Your dress pocket gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts.
I don't know about that.
I am obviously correct. For protruding from it as a handbill advertising a circus show. Ah. Yes, you sought to dispose of this terrifying lion, Mr. Gyarados. At Batty's Circus, a traveling show currently sojourning in a nearby park. I've observed the tents. You sold the savage lion, sir, to the circus troupe. I most certainly did not. I believe I have made my point. The fearsome beast which ran amok in his room was an Indian lion. And a simple circus revealed the lion prancing jubilantly through a ring of fire. Man, he's so right. It's crazy how correct he is.
Wow, he's so good. Aftermath. Can't wait to see how this goes.
Now, Mr. Gyarados. It is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast.
Seems like it.
Indeed, in that blithe pose, the distress this loss has caused you is veritably tangible. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by that supporting arm.
No, not this arm.
Amid fits of tears, you let your beloved beast go. The strain of losing something so dear to you is clearly visible in your visage. Nonsense, man! I simply... But what, we must now ask ourselves, is the true cause of this pain? And we need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, it is this pile of bills that has given rise to the pain you suffer. Every envelope contains another demand for payment. For cartloads of meat, potatoes, wheat, and tea. Indeed, feeding your beloved has been a devastating impact on the financial circumstances of your household. And so you have no choice but to let it go. Yes, well, Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last, unimaginable attack. Unimaginable? The aftermath of which can be clearly seen by observing the carpet over there. A very expensive woolen carpet, if I'm not mistaken. It was burned or something. Oh, dearie me. What could have caused such a destructive outburst? This time, madam, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wandering eye has settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we only look at the Tower of Cake. Okay, even I'm lost as to how you can come up with that.
Huh? How would you... I don't know. I mean, she probably does want some cake.
There is no creature more dangerous on this earth than a beast with an unsatiated appetite. Or a bird wanting pizza.
Oh, yeah. She is very violent if she don't have pizza.
If she hears this, I'm dead. Was it or what? Was it? Let me try that again. Was it or was it not once said by a certain noblewoman, if they have no bread, let them eat cake?
Huh?
Food is at the heart of all tragedy, in fact. Whatever do you mean? Having tired of the taste of cake, the beast began to stalk its next prey. I'm sure I need not spell out the nature of this final act of destruction carried out by the beast. There's only one logical conclusion. Worked into a frenzy by hunger, the lion attacked and ate the carpet. Do even I believe what I just said?
I don't think you do.
The teeth marks on the carpet are a perfect match with those of a lion I once saw in India. Wow, he's so correct, it hurts.
Wow, that's awesome. Yep, I surely believe that.
Well, thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this beastly puzzle.
I think I need to go ahead and rewrite your homework, sir.
My homework? Gah! What is the matter with you, Joan? You're pouring scalding hot tea all over me! Again! Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Gyarados. I'm afraid I didn't notice. Well, I sure
in
did.
The fire.
My deductions can be startling sharp. It stands to reason that your cup runneth over. Indeed, my revelations can make people spill tears at times. I'm sure they can.
Yeah.
Just not from being so correct. No.
Mr. Sholmes, sorry to butt in again, but could I make an observation?
Why, certainly, Mr. Naruhodo. What is it? Again.
Well, your deduction just now. Do you really think a lion could have fit inside a room of this size?
Indeed. It is the only explanation for the facts. Yeah, it's the only explanation. There is no possible other one.
I don't know about that.
The terrifying truth all too often lies beyond the realms of common sense. No?
But wouldn't it be an idea to consider what lies inside the realms of common sense as well?
But if an uncaged lion had run amok in this very room, surely Mr. Garradeb and his maid would have been hurt. Or worse. Ah, that's where you are stuck. No doubt the former military man held his own against this beast using that large cannon.
No, she said that they sold the lion to the circus.
And what about the food? Meat and potatoes are one thing. But I don't believe I've ever heard of a lion that drinks tea. It's like a snake drinking milk. That don't happen.
Yeah.
Ah, my dear Miss Susato, it occurs to me with some regularity that irrespective of race and breeding, whenever anyone lands on Great British soil, they are infused with the highly appropriate taste for afternoon tea.
Are you sure?
Oh, what a glorious notion.
Susato, come on.
Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, it's your turn to shine again.
I had a feeling that was coming.
Shine on, you crazy diamond. A slight massage. That's all Mr. Sholmes' deductions need. You can do it. Excellent. I've been waiting for my trusty partner deduction to step forward, Mr. Naruhodo. Ah, we're partners.
We don't even know yet whether or not this is going to help with Mr. Natsume's case. Still, uncovering the truth is always worthwhile, whatever the motivation. At least, that's what I want to believe.
Let us start again. From the beginning. Of Herlock Sholmes's Logic and Reasoning Spectacular.
Yeah. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes.
I am. I'm holding the entire weight of this case on my shoulders. Alright, yeah,
okay.
let's...
Alright.
Here's some bees.
Yeah. Okay.
The form, but what is the form?
It is... not the lion. Hold on. I really didn't see the lion thing coming.
No. We observed Mr. Garradeb's reaction. It rather seems as though some beast did indeed run amok here in this room.
Yes, something with a very fierce nature. But it couldn't be a lion to transport it from India. Oh, that was you. Oops.
Oh, sorry, I was moving through the guide. You're good.
Oh, so what is it then?
You must follow Mr. Garradeb's gaze. That leads to the true answer. Alright, before we even look around, do you have a guess as what he was looking at, or what it actually was?
I seriously have no idea. I saw him looking at the fireplace, but... oh. That giant bullet, maybe?
Let's see.
Or mortar shell, I guess.
So, it's actually not that. It's staring us in the face here. Look at this thing.
Oh. What's this photograph?
It appears to be from Mr. Garradeb's wedding. That's very happy, doesn't he?
He does, but can't make out his bride.
No, how unfortunate. Something must have struck the glass directly over the woman's face.
Wonder what happened. Probably best not to delve too deeply there. You know, that bride kind of looks like old what's-her-face.
Who?
Joan.
Do you think it's her?
But why would she be his mate, though? Is the question.
So, do you think this might be it?
Yeah, this might be.
Take that!
The true nature of the beast that runs rampant here is revealed by the newlywed bride.
Precisely, Mr. Naruhodo. No other explanation could possibly fit. Are you sure? Are you sure it's still not the lion?
He's quite sure.
Yes,
Well.
this framed print pictures your wife, Mr. Gyardeb. And while we lament the fact that her face is obscured,
You can still make out her mighty arms, and note the considerable horsepower they must contain.
Indeed. Surely any woman with such powerful constitution would be honored to be ascribed as a beast. I don't know about that.
I don't know if that's true. Honor might be stretching a point.
Nonsense. Too late. I've already said it. The fact remains the beast, which so clearly salvaged this room,
Don't
was
let
your
women
wife,
say
Mr.
that.
Gyardeb. Yeah!
Oh, okay. Now I see your face.
Mm-hmm. Where could have disappeared to? Mm-hmm.
Yeah? No. No, wait, hold on now.
The poor, fragile, defenseless woman is beside... I don't know about any of those statements.
Oh. I don't know about fragile.
Oh, dear. Anyway, Mr. Sholmes is quite right. There's no sign of Mrs. Gyardeb anywhere.
Are you sure? It seems there may be a clue as to her whereabouts. A clue that this maid is trying to hide. I wonder where Mr. Gyardeb's wife could be.
What is it, Dora the Explorer? So let's see.
There's a ring on her finger.
Ah.
She's wearing a very large ring, look.
Oh yes, a sunflower design with some rather nice embellishments. And it's on the ring finger of her left hand, which means it's surely a wedding ring.
It looks like it's on there for life too. I can't imagine it would slide off a finger of that size.
And that's something to think, Mr. Arahodo, not to say. Do you know, Mr. Gyardeb's wife in the photograph had a ring very much like this one. It was a large sunflower design as well.
Really? You have a great memory for these things.
So do you, Ryunosuke.
A large sunflower wedding ring. Quite a coincidence that they have the same ring, isn't it?
Yeah, it's coincidence.
Oh,
So,
no.
Take that!
Your wedding ring gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts.
Indeed it does. That flowery band gleaming on your finger gives you away. For it is identical to the one shown in the hand of Mr. Gyardeb's bride in this photographic print.
In other words, you are no ordinary household maid.
No. You are Mr. Gyardeb's lucky bride. You are Mrs. Gyardeb herself. Oh my word!
Oh, so all that stuff I said about throwing her in the fireplace, don't do that.
So it changed now that she's married?
Yeah, I thought she was just an incompetent maid, but now...
No, she's just an incompetent wife.
Oh, dear.
But it's fine, he seems kind of incompetent himself. Well,
I mean, I guess
jolly
so.
fine detecting, sir. As you rightly surmise, this is the wife, yes, my Joan. Rather let herself go, you might say. But she was a bally corkerback. Okay, I might have deserved it that time. It would appear you don't live in the most comfortable of circumstances. After all, you are a retired army man, yet you are in the business of renting out rooms. I would assume, therefore, you have insufficient means to employ a maid. Would that be correct? It's not right, I tell you! I was 2nd Lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment. A man has his pride, don't you know? My god, it's a sorry thing when a chap can't even afford to have a single maid in his employ. Yes, here in London, one is rather judged. A household cannot be considered worthy of society if it employs no staff at all. Though in my
Really?
considered opinion, such concerns about appearances are a folly.
Yeah. You You mean Mr. Garrett has his wife? Work as his maid?
Precisely. Am I right, Mr. Gardip? Only in company, obviously. But listen here, this must remain a secret. Tip-top secret, please!
Okay, I mean, it doesn't really help with us.
That's true.
Ah, okay. But she's still a beast, though, so...
I guess she was gnawing on the carpet.
Yeah, I guess she was too hungry. The meat and potatoes weren't enough.
Now, Mr. Gardip. It is plainly clearly so deep... Yeah, okay. I think this is still the same. White pose. Okay.
Okay.
So...
Now... Mr. Sholmes is quite something. He's still calling Mr. Garrett the wife of Beast. I mean, she is.
Yes, as a woman, that feels rather uncomfortable.
But Mrs. Garrett is standing right beside her husband as we speak. In other words, he hasn't lost his beloved at all, has he?
Oh, how true. So perhaps the supporting arm that seems to be propping up his hand, or his head, has don't you agree? Has some other significance then?
Oh yeah, of course. With that sentiment, I do. According to Mrs. Sholmes, Mr. Garrett's pain is tangible, though. That pose of his really signify. Yeah, his face. There was. I thought there was a burn mark from the teeth, but no, that's a hand mark.
So do you think that's it?
Yeah, he got a slap on his face by his poor wife. By his
poor wife.
No, I slip of the tongue there. She's not poor at all. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders. The pain you feel being revealed by that slapped cheek. Youch.
And of course, the delivery of that impressive mark on your cheek that refuses to fade. Was you, Madame Joan Gardip? Well, yes. You have been desperate to hide the slap mark on your cheek, sir. Ah! How the blazes? How'd you work that out, man? Nothing escapes unless of one trained in the art of observation, my dear fellow. Don't mind the fact I didn't come to that conclusion myself.
No, it's fine, it's fine. That's why you haven't looked at us directly. That's why you haven't looked at us directly even once, to keep your other side from view.
Well,
I know it's embarrassing.
Now, let's proceed to the next conundrum. Why were you subjected to such a violent slap?
Because she's mean.
It might not have been that.
Oh.
In other words, we must ask ourselves what caused Madame Gardip to fly into a rage. And we need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Ah, yeah, the bills.
No, not that.
Let's see. Didn't Mr. Sholmes say that the bills were all for lion fodder?
Yes, but now we've established that the lion never existed. Which can only mean that the thing responsible for gobbling up all that food was Mr. Garrett's wife.
Mr. Naruhodo, she's a person, not a thing!
She eats like a horse. Yes, well. She's also the person who gave her husband a mighty slap around the face. One so hard that it left a perfect hand mark, in fact.
Yes, why would a woman want to hit her husband with such force, I wonder? I asked for it! You what?
No.
Nothing!
I love it! I hope to know the answer to that question.
It really gets me going!
I mean, something has to, I guess. Maybe there's something on the bookshelf?
Ah! That is not the case.
Oh, okay.
But what is right beside the bills, though?
Oh, well, there's a book that has like a... Oh, there's a card. Bookmark. What is this? Oh, it's a lipstick. Uh-oh.
Ah, so I must be reading this book at the moment. There's a bookmark here, look. Mr. Gardip is clearly an avid reader.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't think this is a bookmark.
Oh no, so it isn't. It's a note written in a woman's hand. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Miss Mary. Wait, what?
And look next to the signature here.
Lip marks, made with lipstick. Oh, what a passing romantic gesture.
Don't get any ideas, Susato-san.
Oh dear, I'm sorry.
So this bookmark is actually a love note then. Ah, okay. So that's the reason why she slapped him then.
Yep.
But he stuck with her though, so obviously he doesn't care, right? I don't know. Yes, it is. It is this love note that's given rise to the pain you suffer.
Let's see. What is his full name? John. Not James.
Okay, so...
Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. Passionate indeed. Perhaps the son of this note, a certain Miss Mary, is the fly in the ointment here. Ah!
Jeez.
What? I don't know the bully woman!
Yeah. You don't know her?
That note wasn't written to me. It was just in the book. I don't know how I got there. It was just in there, you say. That's right. That's why I've been sick. Ah! A likely story. Now listen here, Joan, old thing. I explained the time. I bought the book at that second-hand place, and that note must already have been there.
So, the previous owner of the book was using the note as a bookmark, you mean?
That's right. That's why I've been sick. Ah! A likely story. For heaven's sake, woman, you're wearing out my vocal cords. Look at the name. It's written to James. My name, in case you've forgotten, is John. Ah! A likely story. Are you questioning my name now?
Jeez.
And there we have it. Arouse the suspicions of the female heart, and you shall unleash a beast with the most ferocious bite. Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last, unimaginable attack. Unimaginable? The aftermath of which can be clearly seen by observing the carpet over there. A very expensive woolen carpet, if not mistaken. What could have caused such a destructive outburst? This time, madam, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wandering eyes set upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need... Yeah, so it still doesn't check out. It checks out even less now.
Yeah.
But surely Mr. Garrett didn't... eat the carpet.
I want jokes, but I can't. Okay, no, of course
Oh,
not.
Patu, you animal. I wasn't even thinking that.
But there doesn't
But
seem to be any
Patu, she's
doubt.
married to a man.
Yeah, I know, but she's a beast, though.
Ooh.
But that's what everyone keeps saying.
That's
the
true.
state of this array that this room is in is a result of her wild temper.
No, that's true. So, this is the last part of Mr. Sholm's deduction that we need to fix. We don't need to follow Mr. Garrett's gaze, and that will tell us the real answer.
Alright, let's see what we can see.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, so there's a lot of broken stuff here.
So, if you'll notice, let's look at the carpet more specifically.
The carpet here has been ripped to shreds.
Yes, and according to Mr. Sholm's deduction, the tears, thanks English, but context helps, match those made by an Indian lion's teeth exactly.
Oh, look here.
What is it?
If you look closely at the edge, you can see scorch marks.
And also, what is this?
Oh, it's a candle. So he burnt his expensive carpet.
Yep. Oh yes, so you can. In that case, perhaps the carpet wasn't eaten in the normal sense at all.
Let's rethink this with that in mind.
Now, if you'll notice, this candlestick seems to be missing something.
Oh, yeah, there's no third candlestick on the candelabra.
Take that!
Jack be nimble, Jack be quick.
Jack threw away the candlestick.
Ah, okay. Nice. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the candlestick.
Most illuminating, my dear fellow, and of course, the only possible way out of this logical labyrinth.
Yes, the remnants of this ferocious attack in which the carpet was devoured are clearly visible.
Indeed they are. The scorch marks at the edge clearly give the truth away. Scorch marks? It would appear this room was a scene of a little marital altercation. Mrs. Garredeb's... God, I'm sorry, my dear boy, that's you.
Oh, no, all good, all good. Mrs. Garrett's mighty arm muscles left an impression not only on her husband's face.
Did she send him flying?
Oh, dang.
But on the entire
room. Oh, that's you.
Wait, why'd I pick up? What in the world? The force of a strike caused a candle to fall from the holder.
Dang. And in seconds, the carpet was alight, and the whole corner of the room in flames.
Yes, For the most ferocious beast in this world is neither a violent lion nor a vengeful woman, but fire.
Fire does consume all. And in this room, that ferocious beast bared its claws and ran amok.
Eloquently put, my dear fellow. So you see, there's but one conclusion here.
I like how we just paused it.
I was actually waiting for your lead so I could follow.
Oh, after the sparks of Marshall.
We both said Marshall!
Why did I say Marshall? Dang it. It's marital. Good grief. After the sparks of marital discord flew, this room was the scene of a fire.
Wow, now that was, you both said that kind of the same time.
Sheesh. Oh, he's finally getting up. Please move away from her.
Mr. Soames, sir, I salute you!
Oh no!
And there we have it. We solved nothing about Mr. Natsume's case, but we solved a marital dispute, maybe? Though, not even that's been concluded, because there's still the whole thing of that book and her getting angry and whatever.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. But hey!
It's these dashed long winter nights, you know? Nothing to but read in front of the fire. Luckily, there's a jolly good second-hand bookshop just around the corner. Buy all my old novels there. And in the pages of one particular novel, you discovered some rather illicit material. For which your wife admonished you harshly, it seems. Don't know about admonished. Demolished might be rather closer to the mark. And Beast is most certainly an act to scourge!
We go again. And the carpet? What was that destroyed by fire when a candle fell on the floor?
Afraid to say it was. Having the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bally thing. I was caught between the old stick's rage and the raging flames. You point a torrid picture. You painted, too. One that would have been most entertaining.
That's sympathy for you.
Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bally dungeon started going up as well. We've had to hide the mess behind that screen for the time being.
Oh.
Over here, Mr. Garredeb? Well, you have nothing more to hide now, if you'll allow me.
Still could, looking at their privacy. Oh,
Jeez.
Wow.
Had all my favorite old novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got hold of them, that was it. Whoosh! Up in smoke.
Gosh.
Then the wife started hurling things at me. What a terrible sight it must have been. There was I, back up against the window, under heavy enemy fire. Incendiary books incoming 10 to the dozen. Worst of it is, I lost my favorite book called The Lion's Pride. Lion's Pride? Ah yes, your notorious love of big cats coming through again. I assure you the title didn't influence my choice in the slightest.
The poor man really did lose something dear to him as a result of the ferocious beast's rampage.
Mr. Soames' deductions turned out to be correct once again.
Sasato. Come on, girl. It can only be described as a great British wonder.
I tell you, it was total carnage. Flames everywhere and the old stick in full fettle.
Out of interest, what time of day was that?
Not sure if I can remember. It was 2 days ago now. Let's see, around 5 o'clock, I think.
Oh, okay, so they really haven't seen anything at that
So at
time.
exactly the same time, as a terrifying incident was unfolding outside your window in the street below. Even more terrifying on the inside, I can assure you. The whole of Blighty could have been flattened outside my window at the moment, and I wouldn't have noticed a dashed thing. Oh, really?
I mean,
That doesn't check out, though, because they're the two witnesses who saw Mr. Natsume stabbing the victim when apparently at the same time the fire was spreading and she was throwing at him. Excuse me.
Mr. Sholmes.
Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. What can I do for you?
Well, I think we've gotten to the bottom of Mr. Garrett's situation now. But what does that have to do with Mr. Natsume's circumstances?
I can't help you there, I'm afraid.
What?
My dear fellow, if you recall, I did say as much from the outset. I
guess
warned
you
you
did.
that although I knew the retired army man would be hiding something, I could not be sure whether his secret would prove to be of relevance or not.
You did say that. I just knew you were going to say that.
Now, Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't lose heart. Bear in mind that all things fall into one of only two categories. Those relevant to the case, and those not.
That makes no sense to me.
Well, no matter. It is of far greater importance that you make up your mind now.
Sorry?
Visiting hours at the prison will soon be over.
Oh no! Is it that time already?
If we're to accept Mr. Natsume's case, we have official paperwork to attend to.
Paperwork. So that's it. No more time to think.
Perhaps you'd like to betake yourselves to bidding us farewell now? I must prepare supper for Mr. Garredeb.
Oh yes. I'm so sorry.
Thank you both very much for your time.
Soseki, son, will be waiting for us. And I'm going to have to give him an answer. This airplane's going to have to stop flying overhead.
Guess you're going back to prison.
Oh dear. I created... I did another felon, it seems. Fire Road.
Yep. It's time, Mr. Naruhodo. We must hurry back to the prison.
Yes, I know. Let's helicare... Oh.
What's the matter?
Looks like something's going on over in front of the Garrett's house.
Hmm?
What?
I know thee not, old man. Fall to thy prayers.
Oh, who you calling an old man, you rum-looking niminy-piminy? Niminy-piminy? I don't know.
There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt in your dreamt of in your philosophy.
Who's this Horatio fella, eh? Who are you on about?
Excuse me.
Yeah? What the? Who are you now?
I'm sorry, it just looked as though there might be some problem here. And my associate here, Mr. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, is a lawyer, you see.
A lawyer? What?
If I can be of any assistance, I'd be happy to help. I'm from Japan, but I've studied English law.
Fine, I'll be on me way for today, but you mark my words.
Consider them marked.
This ain't over yet.
Get thee to a nunnery!
Do I look like a bloomin' nun to you?
Aha!
I don't like your face. That's the stuff of nightmares.
I do hope you're not injured. Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so gentle! Thank you!
What was And what was that all about?
There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy.
I'm not Horatio either.
Forgive the inquiry, sir, but are you a lodger here, in the Garrett residence? Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so right! Yes, I do dwell in this humble abode.
Mr. Garrett had mentioned that he had another lodger, didn't he? This must be the man.
Didn't know that he was so fruity.
He does seem a little fruitish. Do you happen to know the other lodger who lives on the first floor?
Ah, yes, a gentleman named Natsume. Oh, more worthy, a polemist in my battle of words ne'er could there be.
Sorry, battle, did you say?
Who is a stronger, Hamlet or Macbeth? Mr. Natsume and I swore long into the night.
I see.
I don't fully understand, but it seems Mr. Natsume and this gentleman are acquaintances at least. So, fair maiden, so, good gentleman, I can tarry here no longer. Fare thee well! I don't really understand him, but I think he's returned to his dimension, his room.
Yeah, it does seem like he's from another world. It seems he's unaware of what happened to Mr. Natsume, so he can't really help us. With Suzuki's son and that man as lodgers, the Garrett house is certainly full of eccentrics. Anyway, I'll go and find a carriage.
Yes, I'm sure Mr. Natsume is eagerly awaiting our return.
Let's hope we can get to the present before visiting hours are over.
Oh, it's you! You're here! You came! Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire! I can't believe you came back! I'm so touched!
You look so annoyed.
We are so sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Natsume. Oh, no! Think nothing of it! Relax! If I were a cat, I would purr with pleasure to come to such fine compatriots! Noble, nurturing, never-failing Nipponese!
Oh, now let's not get carried away.
I hope I don't know. Oh, I quite agree. There's nothing more reassuring than the familiarity of one's native land. On the other hand, it is through friendship transcending international borders that one truly appreciates the fact. Such is my belief, at least. It's you! The miserable, rotten spy! Hairlock Sholmes!
Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here? I have no intention of doing anything, per se. Save observing, of course. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? Well, having encountered some curious reading material in that gloomful room, and having unmasked the secret identity of that eccentric pair, I decided I should drop in on my way home, to see how our devastated friend is faring. Divested. I can't read.
I almost that pairing set farting at first, and like, why would you be interested in his parts?
Gloomful room? At least your combination here offers a window, my dear fellow. In that sense, it is a superior option. Anyway, I must commend you on your taste in books. My day has been a delight, and cost me not a penny. Ah, you! How dare you, Hairlock Sholmes!
That's her lock.
Ugh. I've had it. I'm through. I'm at the end of my rope. I should never have come to Great Britain. It was a terrible mistake. Haunted by spirits in those accursed lodgings. No doubt my luck will be cursed in tomorrow's trial as well. My whole life is bedamned! What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo?
He mentioned that once before, didn't he? As lodgings were cursed, I mean?
And there's much truth in Mr. Mustache's words.
What?
Cursed is a wholly appropriate description, I would say, for the man's lodgings, and indeed for tomorrow's trial.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oopsie, wrong button.
We're just gonna leave him here. We don't want to talk
We're
to
just
him
gonna
anymore.
leave.
Bye. Good luck. Mr. Nutsweet, what do you mean by what you said just now? About the trial tomorrow being cursed.
Oh no. Why are you looking so grave? You're making me nervous. I was just getting carried away, that's all. I didn't mean anything by it.
No, I see. That really agitated him.
You
Oh,
don't mean the trial really is cursed somehow?
I mean... Could be. Are you referring to the prosecutor? The Reaper of the Bailey?
The Reaper? Oh no! What do you mean? Please tell me! Summarize it succinctly in 16 salient words!
No defendant has ever survived a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution. Ever.
Oh my goodness, can it really be true? That was 16 words exactly! Yesterday, Mr. Naruhodo successfully defended someone against the Reaper. But then, after the trial was over, he became an Irish barbecue.
Ugh,
The defendant
was
passed
still
away in unusual circumstances.
it was so delicious. All the bailiffs, all the guards ate him.
Ew.
Mr. McGill it.
What?
Seasoned to a crisp.
What? Ah, I am impressed, Miss Susato. You have an eye for detail. Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us.
Mr. Sholmes, surely can't be that having failed to have the accused convicted, Lord Von Sykes killed the man himself.
Oh no, he couldn't have, surely.
I don't know, people say he used swamp magic.
You have some wonderful notions.
Sorry?
The man isn't a mass murderer. He's a court prosecutor, my dear fellow. Oh, yes. Why, of course he is. Ah! Of course he is! Then why are you trying to scare me? It could be said, however, that the real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypothesis.
What on earth do you mean by that? Oh. That's a little scary.
Von Sykes is a quite exceptional man. However, in London courts of law, exceptional does not equate to winning every case without exception. Ah, that's good!
Susky looks like he's gonna cry tears of joy.
As you're no doubt aware, in a British criminal trial, there is both a judge and a jury. The judge officiates based on the letter of the law, whilst the jury offers public opinion and common sense. It is an excellent system, whereby the defendant's guilt is considered from several points of view. However, public opinion in particular is somewhat easily manipulated.
Somewhat. Right.
Criminals, and corrupt lawyers for that matter, can use it to their advantage. By any means at their disposal. Contriving evidence, calling imposters as witnesses, and so on. By such underhand means, those who want to are able to sway the jury. Which means that even in the light of irrefutable evidence, the prosecution can fail. But it means the wrong verdict can be passed. And sadly is from time to time, my dear madam. It is simply the reality of the situation.
And that's alright?
However, those indicted by Lord Van Sykes cannot escape justice. Their fate is sealed. Oh my. Though the education may seem to leave them... Whoops. Though the education may see them leave the courtroom with their freedom. Within months, they all disappear. It is most striking. Disappear? But how? Ah, by all manner of misfortune, sir. Perhaps they are trampled on a passing carriage. Perhaps they fall into the Thames and drown. I'm heard it's pronounced Thames. Perhaps they are suddenly overcome by a raging fever.
It's pronounced Thames?
I've heard it pronounced that way.
Jeez.
Or perhaps
I don't know
attacked
this.
by highwaymen. Oh, no. All examples of the reality of events here in London, I'm afraid, Mr. Naruhodo.
That's Not reassuring. Stop looking at me.
I knew it. I'm a dead dodo done for doomed!
You said a curse at lodgings before. Are you referring to the room at Mr. Garrett's house, I presume? Do you mean to say you believe that place is cursed?
It's been a year now since I came to Great Britain. But I'd only been in London a week before I started to notice strange feelings in myself.
That didn't take long then.
Everywhere I looked, there were foreign faces staring at me, laughing behind my back. I was sure people were talking about me. I started to become nervous about going outside. They were always staring at me, all the time, from dawn till dusk. So I shut myself away in my room. But even that didn't help. The fear wouldn't go away. You must have been very lonely having been away from your homeland for such a long time. I've had to move a number of times, most recently to that room on Briar Road a week ago now.
Yes. Why did you choose there? It seems a little inconvenient.
The rent is cheap. I have so little money, it appealed to me straight away. Of course, I asked why it was so affordable. The landlord just simply said, "The room is cursed." Oops. He quickly tried to cover.
Okay. This curse, you can live there.
He quickly tried to cover his mistake, but it was too late. So I told him, "If you have something to say, then say it. But if not, don't mention it in the first place."
Yes, well said.
But it was true. It was all true.
You mean the room really is cursed then?
Ever since I moved to that windowless hellhole, my sleep has been plagued with nightmares. I awake feeling as though I'm being choked to death. In my waking hours, people are stabbed in front of me as I walk down the street. I'm branded a killer, thrown in prison. Nobody wants to know me. I'm surrounded by scary, sinister spirits! If only there was someone, just one person at my side. Can no one find it in his or her heart to believe in me? Really, no one at all.
To believe. Yes, to believe. Mr. Sholmes.
Ah, me, Mr. Nahodo. Pray, what can I do for you?
About the case on the SS Budia, if you recall.
The Budia. The Budia. Ah, that case. The one with the snake.
Yes, there was a snake. At that time, I was the suspect, but you believed me and listened to my side of the story. And you helped us to investigate.
I did I? Interesting.
What I want to know is, why? Why did you believe in me?
I see, yes. You mean because you were a grimly dressed, shady Eastern fellow found with a victim in a locked room.
Well, if you like, yes. Ouch.
I'm a little surprised the answer requires explanation, my dear fellow. It's quite simple, really. You said I didn't do it.
But I could have been lying. Surely you must have had your doubts. You must have suspected me a little.
I think perhaps you misunderstood. I neither recall believing in you, nor in that which you were telling me.
What?
You see, the only things I believe in are those I choose to believe in. What do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? I make up my own mind about what it is to believe. I make up my own mind about what it is to be believed and what is not. If I should like to believe in something, I do. The circumstances can hang as far as I'm concerned.
But I could have betrayed your trust.
In that case, I should have made an elementary error of judgment, nothing more. Betrayal of trust is an overused excuse, in my opinion.
Meaning?
Whether or not one should trust another is, in the final analysis, down to oneself. It is a matter of whether or not one can trust oneself. Yes, yes, he's right! He's right! Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire!
Whether or not I can believe it myself.
A defense lawyer is only as good as his faith is in his client. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself.
You're so right, Kazuma.
Well, my dear fellows, it is time we were leaving, I believe. Already? Visiting hours are over. The guard will be here shortly to escort us out. There is a restaurant near here that serves excellent trout. Would you care to join me? Oh dear. There's never enough time, is there?
Mr. Natsume, if you'd like, in the trial tomorrow, I'd be happy to represent you.
Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
As I said, I only experienced a British courtroom for the first time yesterday. And although the man I was representing was not found guilty, I lost sight of something crucial.
Something crucial?
What to believe in, the defendant, justice, or the truth. How to believe, even. But I think I finally worked it out. I decided I must believe in myself above all else, to trust my instincts.
Yes, Mr. Naruhodo.
My instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Natsume, Natsume, are innocent of this crime. And it's imperative that we prove that in court.
Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
I'll fight for your innocence until the bitter end, with every weapon available to me. So I hope you'll permit me to represent you tomorrow.
As I said when we first met, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who will listen to me, in my native tongue.
Of course, Mr. Natsume.
It would be fair to say, Mr. Naruhodo, that your mind was, in many ways, made up from the outset. You merely need the events of today to fully realize it.
Yes, I think you're right about that. It's been a roundabout journey, but I got there in the end. Oof! Mrs. Sato,
Yes?
would you be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in court?
Absolutely. As I said this morning, you may consider me your personal judicial assistant.
The shocking events of yesterday's trial still weigh heavily on my mind. But it's time to stop looking backwards. Kazuma believed in me, and Mr. Shon believes in me now too. So it's time. Time that I learned to believe in myself. Sosuke-san has no one. He's all alone, so it's my job to help him, to fight his corner. Tomorrow, in the courtroom. With all the strength I can muster.
Heck yeah.
Oh, snap.
Yep.
Oh, dang.
So that's gonna be it for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Check the links in the description. Keep an eye for new posts. And as always, we'll see you in court. Wait,
Ooh.
that's